everybody. Welcome to Mezzaterra, or Meeting Point, a new cycle of 8 songs composed last year in 2021 as part of a PRSF resonance residency at Opera North. I'm Camille Maalawy, and I worked with Mark Slater and Guy Shalom to devise and perform the piece. I wanted to try and create a piece that reflected my British and Coptic Egyptian heritage and my musical background as a classical mezzo-soprano, but also as somebody that sings Arabic traditional and classical song and has a strong interest in Jewish music as well, and how that all combines and complements with my Arabic and classical, Western classical background. I wanted to examine how I fit into society, both in the UK and in Egypt, and how people of mixed heritage define their identity, sometimes not feeling as if they belong anywhere completely, but also how the foreigner, the immigrant, is regarded by society as a whole, both historically and now. This piece draws on Coptic hymn, German lieder, English song, Andalusian muwashshahat tradition, the poetic form that is set to music, and it encompasses Arabic, English, German, Yiddish, and Hebrew. And it explores the connections between languages, identities, and cultures in a celebration of the common ground, the Mezzaterra, that unites us. I would really be delighted to hear feedback at the end and answer any questions you may have. So onto our cycle. The cycle takes the form of a journey, both within the complete piece, but also within a single song. We begin with The Stranger, which takes the opening stanzas of the first 2 verses of Gute Nacht from Die Winterreise by Schubert. I sing it in English and Arabic before the original German to highlight the fact that so often it's just not a choice for somebody to leave their country. And then apologies if you have the paper translations. I'm afraid we have changed the order slightly. I'm sorry about that. So the next one is the third piece, Exile. 3 Rekhyt Rebus will come third. But in Exile, we've combined the religious language of the Coptic faith in a hymn of praise, O Kyrios Mitasu, with John Dowland's Flow My Tears. Ideally, the piano would have been prepared with a pencil, very, very technical, being held down on the strings to emulate the bells used to accompany the male choir in the Coptic service. But we have the use just of an upright piano this evening, so I'm afraid we will have to imagine a little. But we do have the Rik, the Arabic tambourine, also to help us. So I'll start with The Stranger and Exile. Ich kann been the image used for publicity, the Rekhyt Rebus, or the lapwing, with human arms raised. In pharaonic hieroglyphics, the Rekhyt Rebus was always depicted with its wings pinned back. This was to represent the foreigner or somebody of a lower class, the enemy. It's actually on the bottom of Tutankhamun's throne. It was used quite a lot, but also the ancient Egyptians acknowledged that they needed these people and that they had a rightful place in the society to balance maat, the order, and isfet, chaos. And I was really fascinated by this after reading it in an academic article. So Mark and I chose some phrases to form lyrics for what is almost a folk song, 3 Rekhyt birds. triplet rhythm used in the introduction of the original Der Wanderer. But again, when we have a grand using prepared piano, the new timbre provides distance, and we really wanted to emulate string instruments such as the Arabic oud. And perhaps Mark, you could just give us a little example of what it would be, but unfortunately Mark can't get his hands deep enough into the piano to do it all the time, so we had to just compromise a bit. Oh, sorry, I'm upsetting everything now, aren't I? That's sort of lovely. So, and it goes on. So that's what we're hoping for. We translated the text from another Schubert piece, Der Wanderer an den Mond, and we also, there is a hint of a 10/8 rhythm at times, a reference to a very famous muwashshahat, Lamma Bada Yatatanda, who, if you know anything about Arabic music, you will probably have heard it, even though you may not have realised it. And muwashshahat is an Arabic poetic form set to music. And so our result really is three independent parts. We are all wandering, sometimes meeting together at bar lines, but all taking our own freedom within the music and language. I'll go well. by Todros Abulafia. He wrote it in Hebrew and then Arabic, and this is a poem that really resonates with me. I think I am a daughter of Arabia, and this poem talks about being half and half, which I am as well, and it just speaks to me in so many ways. So I found it a long time ago. Actually, it's on my CD, and I set it to a French troubadour melody, so to really incorporate the styles. And this beautiful poem was written at a time when Christians, Muslims and Jews lived together in relative harmony and lots of creativity in Andalusia. It was a real meeting together of faiths, cultures and languages, and so I really, in this whole cycle, I've tried to build on the cultural and musical similarities, but celebrating and also using the differences to hopefully create something new. So this is Bat Arav.
לבבי, והוא מאז הדומך, ותענה מלחמים את אשרפה את חדומי, רון לבבי וגיל, את אשרפנו ואת צעמי.
by Lebanese poet Camille. He wrote in English as well as Arabic, and I've only actually been able to find this next text in English, so I think he did write it just in English. And here the ambiguity of the text is accompanied by ambiguity in the tonal structure of the music. At times it almost becomes bitonal, and we feel this is like a foreigner. Sometimes we are just neither one nor the other. The palm tree. This was written by Abdullah Rahman I. He was a Syrian prince who became the first emir of Cordoba. It's quite an exciting story. Apparently he and his son and his family had to swim across the Euphrates to escape, and then they finally ended up in Andalusia. And so he was quite a warrior, but he was also a poet who wrote very beautiful poetry. And in Al-Nakhla, the palm tree, he talks about his nostalgia for a homeland that he never saw again. And he aligns the tree to himself. We are both strangers in a strange land. This is the first of two new pieces that we have developed since being at Opera North last year. And we have tried to do this in the style of mawal, which is an Arabic improvisation, but also a little hint of the Asturiana of Manuel de Falla as well, and the movement of the trees in the breeze. Al-Nakhla. rides the boats. A beautiful Yiddish poem by the Polish poet Zisha Landau, who emigrated to New York in the early 20th century. I first learnt it at Klesfest, which was run by the Jewish Music Institute lots of years ago, but I've always been so touched by the text. Landau himself lost a child and apparently wrote it as a lullaby, but I think it's really a universal message for all those who may have lost a child themselves, or the displaced children who are fleeing from war and persecution. Indeed, it is the image of the 3-year-old Syrian boy, Alyan Kurdi, washed up on the beach in Turkey in 2015 that floods my mind, and I can't speak about that without being moved by it. Rekhyt Rebus.